Today I wanted to bring you along on a somewhat different journey here. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but this pile of rocks here is actually a grave, right? It is a Viking-era grave, and this area is a burial field. Now, it's a little bit harder to tell nowadays, but especially during summer, right? Because the vegetation is heavier now, and I realized maybe I should have had before and after picture here, right? Because during winter this is a lot more visible. But let's see here, got another pile going here. And you can tell that someone has gone through this place, right? You got an indentation on the middle of it, rocks poured all over the place, and I mean this entire area here is littered with small burial places, right? Burial hills. But one of the things I find really fascinating is the amount of oak trees, right? These are old enough to probably have been planted when the person died, when the person was buried here, right? And what really fascinates me is the connection to nature that the old world had, right? The representation of the oak tree connecting the sky to earth, flesh to the afterlife. You got oak tree upon oak tree upon oak tree here, right? This was a really sacred place at some point. Got oak trees everywhere, right? And anyone who has ever worked with the material oak knows that is certainly not the easiest material to work with, right? It is strong, but it's also very hard, right? It's hard, and it's not that flexible. It's not really a material that you should build, for an example, ships with, right? I mean, they certainly didn't build it back at that age. Trees, they were sacred. So that kind of makes me wonder, why was it all of a sudden the preferred material for building ships, right? Why did the need to cut down these sacred trees all of a sudden arise, right? Because let's face it, my ancestors, they went to America hundreds of years before Columbus, and they sure didn't build it from oak trees. So why did the need to start cutting them down arise? Was it to sever our connection to nature? Was it to defile old beliefs? Well, I would say so. I would certainly say so. Well, it is not, maybe not that exciting to watch the piles of rocks here, right? I mean, like it's certainly been gone through, and maybe it's been by locals raiding this place. Maybe it's been in a power shift of the area, or I mean, even maybe it's been well gone through in historical purposes by an archaeologist. Even though I highly doubt it, because look at the absolute turmoil of the rocks, right? I don't know. I mean, that's desecration, if anything, right? Oh, it's right by the highway, right? It's kind of crazy that no one knows. Well, the part about nature and us reconnecting with it is, well, I believe this is the place where you reconnect with your soul as well, your purpose, your creative spirit. And it has been a ongoing agenda to actually turn people away from nature and the absolute abundance it gives us. It gives us everything we need to survive. I mean, it is harsh. It can be absolutely unforgiving, but in the same breath it gives us fruit, berries, seeds, everything we need. And the only thing we need to do is not destroy it. How can that be so hard, you know? This used to be the main trade route from the coast all the way to the cultural center of Uppsala. Doesn't look as much now, since the farmers needed grazing lands and pastures, so they lowered the surface by approximately 2 meters over time, right? 1920 and 1940. But the hills are littered with cultural remnants, right? Fortifications, graves, it's everywhere. It's absolutely abundant in this area. Over there, even more, right? Now, I would like for this trade route to be restored, but it's well, it's a really daunting task in Sweden to actually restore places like this. It's a logistical nightmare, thanks to the rules and regulations, right? And it's too bad. This one went all the way to the coast once, and connected to the area around it is like littered with small lakes, and the lakes had inlets to this area where people traveled in and out on the small rivers, right? So we have fortifications almost everywhere here, and they produced iron in this area. People have been living here since the Bronze Ages. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool, because it's really the backwaters of everything. I mean, like today, yeah, not that centralized. Okay, let's just say that. However, it used to be. It used to be teeming with life, you know. Still good fishing though. Really good fishing. Now this place is better. I mean, at least more visible, right? It's not too far from where I stay, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but there are like mounds and mounds up on mounts here, but we'll stick to one, right? Oh, this one. Is way more visible. Probably a burial site, but it hasn't been that thoroughly investigated, right? And as you can tell, people have been here, going through it. Now there's an invitation to the center of it going outwards. It probably could have been a fortification, but it would be a guess from my side, from my end, right? Well, the area is littered with it, and just across the field that way there is a massive field, right? Like enormous. And this is the highest point of the entire area. So why is it that we are being kept from finding the connection to nature again? Because at least it seems intentional, right? They want you to go to a house, follow the rules, and I would say this is the better place to actually reconnect with source, with your creator, with whatever you feel is your purpose. Finding your soul doesn't come from a building. I'm sorry to say, but I'm happy if you found it there, but what I'm saying is that it's not a rule. I think everybody should make their own decisions when it comes to this, and saying that you have to things kind of reminds me of control, you know? Now, every religion starts with connection to nature. There's got to be a reason for it. They are often built on ley lines or energetic centers. Even the largest religions of the planet talks about the connection to nature. I believe Jesus said that we're all God, and God lives in all of us, right? So whatever creation story you believe in, nature is a really good way to start. Yeah, kind of sidetracked there a little bit. The raspberries are getting eatable, and I just couldn't help it. But well, if you think about it, you know, the old religions, they knew light, vibration, sound. It all heals us, right? Where do you find light if not in nature? Where do you find synchronicity? In the creation, right? So I'm gonna go as far as claiming that since we're made in the likeness of our Creator, right? And there's a duality to the creation. There's no denying that, right? I can't help myself wondering if you think that destroying nature or destroying other lives is what creation demands of you. Maybe you're listening to the other side of duality. Okay. Now, we all have the ability to create heaven and hell within us, right? Because of that duality. And what differentiates it is how we treat each other and how we treat nature. That's where all of the trouble starts. All of the future problems is created in what we do today. What seeds we plant for the future. That is as simple as it is. That's as simple as it is, you know, like that's the way it is, right? Now there's research done that claims that staring into a fire way past the flame is also healing. It triggers stem cell production and a meditative state, right? Now, I'm not 100% sure it actually works that way, and I'm looking forward to the data on it. But I can tell you that I have always found it fascinating and deeply meditative to stare into a fire after a long day. You're exhausted, you've done things, you've gone swimming, done whatever, and it's just a relaxation time, right? And we've done this for ages. Humanity has done it for ages, right? It has been the television of the past. And there's no denying there's something primal about it.